Just one quick minute. This video is the Hellenistic and Vedic traditional 12th house, yeah? There's no Neptune in this one. If you are looking for Neptune, check out my Neptune video in the link above and description box below. Right, on with the video. There is a place I'm dreaming of. This place is not really there, yet I visit it. I know it and it knows me. Much is hidden in this place of my dreams. Sanctuaries, distant worlds, clandestine operations, and ashrams. The 12th house holds the symbolism of the sacred, of non-transparent environment, and of our isolating behaviors and anonymity. The house of disembodied entities, ghosts, and spooks. Ruled by Jupiter in traditional astrology, under the sign of Pisces, the Mul Trikona sign of Venus. The topics of the 12th house, such as Vyaya, where one's material identity is annihilated and put to sleep, and fantasies and phantoms become animated, where stories of redemption play out and astral guides are embodied in full. The dissolution within this house of the material experience involves a retreat off the trials and paths of the material pursuits and re-inseminating the collective self through sacred sacrifice into the mutable watery imagination and birth canals of other worlds. This house puts us into classrooms under the guidance of the ancestors and rules over divination and other astral channels of influence.
See thy face.
What wouldst thou know, my queen?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
Famed is thy beauty, majesty. But hold, a lovely maid I see. Rags cannot hide her gentle grace. Alas, she is more fair than thee.
Alas for her. Reveal her name.
Lips red as the rose, hair black as ebony, skin white as snow.
Snow White.
This brings with it the ability to follow the intuitive pathways which connect the physical plane to the astral. Hence, any planet in the 12th might appear withdrawn, isolated and fantasizing, or sequestered in the impermeable safety of one's own imagination. This is why this house also marks incarceration, though not always in the traditional sense, but more in keeping the state of planets here, aloof and suspended and indifferent to the physical world. The extrasensory perception is coupled with mental anguish as the viewer of this house is submerged in its mutable waters and suffer alone as they project through their private imagination, but glimpse pathways through astral worlds, which grants them the ability to receive guidance from dreams and from astral monasteries and missionaries such as angels. Because Jupiter rules this house, the substance of this area of the chart is expanded and given through synchronous vibrations, immense love and wisdom, which is the second ray in esoteric astrology and projects through Jupiter's mercy.
Good Geppetto, you have given so much happiness to others. You deserve to have your wish come true. Little puppet made of pine, wake. The gift of life is thine.
This mercy is a guiding hand, as the solitude experienced here can be overwhelming to many, and why this house also symbolizes poverty and loss and waste of valuable trinkets and treasures, as this indifference towards the physical can lead to inaction or lack of atra, which is the pursuit of wealth and material advantage, and another reason why it rules over our personal and private prayers versus our public prayers in Jupiter's 9th house. When Jupiter is placed in the house of secluded retreat, the sensitivity and dreamlikeness, dispersing and wandering imagery is supported by extreme levels of wealth, which is accumulated through means of spiritualism and education. Being in contact with guides and ancestors who can lead you to treasures, which can have material benefits, as Jupiter helps to sustain your body in this house. Aggressively materializing planets like Saturn tend to fall short here, as this is the house of dematerialization, and Saturn works on the materialized, sifting away the mature impurities in the 10th house and rewarding those in the 11th. The 12th house primarily works behind the veil, on the astral plane, and in private spaces invisible to the public eye. Dreams and meditation occurs in the native's imagination, which is the field of imagery surrounding and penetrating the physical body. Now, due to the lack of Saturn's influence in this house, which usually grounds energies and works with the 5 senses of hard reality, the psychic imagery experienced here can feel unreal. Astral information is not inherently misleading or invalid. Rather, astral imagery is the seed from which the material experiences will later develop from. Clairsentient skill is necessary to receive the guidance so freely offered by etheric angels and other missionaries. However, this skill is received in Capricorn, which grants the initiate with the title of Master and the 3 higher initiations, and the gains of these are reaped in the 11th house of Aquarius as the minutiae of the macro systems blend into the grander expanse.
With these words, your tongue must sow, for all around there to be snow.
An exalted planet in the 12th house may indicate a birth endowed with clairvoyant and clairaudient skills, which are found in the 1st and 2nd initiation within the 9th house of Jupiter and Sagittarius, as Jupiter provides reprieve to the struggles of Scorpio in the 8th. But in the 12th house, the solution and deterioration is usually a slow process, including the loss of attachment to the body, but an increasing identification with the sleep dream state. Jupiter's grace within the 12th house is that it reminds you of the bliss of the astral world which awaits us beyond the chaotic physical dissolution which is being experienced.
Do you remember the Shire, Mr. Fertile? It'll be spring soon. The orchards will be in blossom, and the birds will be nesting in the hazel thicket. And they'll be sowing the summer barley in the lower fields, and eating the first of the strawberries with cream. Do you remember the taste of strawberries?
No, Sam. I can't recall the taste of food. Not the sound of water. The touch of grass. Naked in the dark. There's nothing, no veil between me and the wheel of fire. I can see him with my waking eyes.
Then let us be rid of it, once and for all. Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. Come on!
One might rarely achieve emotional intimacy of genuinely shared partnerships due to being so identified with the world inside one's own head. However, relationships are found within the imagination itself, and why the 12th house in Vedic astrology is the Mool Trikona sign of Venus. The potential negative outcomes of the 12th house depend on the Lord and the qualities of the Lord. Despite the negatives, there are positives. Because of the Mul-Trikona influence of Venus combined with Jupiter, this house rules over bed pleasures, the particular companion with whom one shares their innermost private domain.
And so it was that Georges first saw Chitsa. Now Georges had been raised a good Catholic. But in his romance with Chitsa, he was willing to slightly bend the rules of Christian courtship. The tribal elders tried to warn Georges about her. She was one of the wanderers. Her people moved with the north wind from village to village.
The 12th house is where the expansion established by Jupiter within the chart grows beyond the limited faculties of the physical, and an astral reconnection is formed fully. The loss experienced before this process is carried out as a sort of bridge toll of surrendering one's rigid ego expectations of how things should be in life and addressing the more full scope of one's spiritual existence. So however frightening the jaws of the 12th house might seem, it is just the essential hug of cosmic truth, sifting into the spaces of molecular matter and expanding us until we only exist through the collaborative cosmic consciousness. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and goodbye.